Again, here I choose the domain number command. This time I choose 14 and 14 to make the size of the cells a bit bigger, and then I press enter. Now here we wanted to take a look at custom to the variable. With the use of this tool, we can consider the paneling on the face as a variable factor. There are some different states, and I'm gonna draw some shapes for each state. Something like this, something like that. We're gonna talk about all of them. Now I'm going to draw some lines and then I will explain it. Here and other types of things, and maybe I'd better to select a point here, to put a point here, and maybe then a line here. And now here I go to the tab and I activate the command here. Our job should be determined in two parts. In pattern method part, I have options like scaling, one-dimensional scale, rotate, transforming, and list, and min. And now here in scale part, I actually go for let me see, a tractor. Guys, here we have in this part somehow some sort of reproduction. I mean, if this hexagon has to change to this square, where should it happen exactly? Or if this diamond has to be smaller or bigger, where should it be, big or small? But here now I can, based on the discussion that we had in domain variable, I can generalize those discussion and have options such as Gaussian curvature, mean curvature, attractors, curve attractors, random, bitmap, and draft anchor. I put it on a curve attractor so that it could be scaled near to this line. I press the enter. It asks for the attractor line. I'll say this is my attractor line, and then select unit pattern. I should give the pattern that I want to the command, and I select this diamond, and then select the object to define the bounding. It means that some objects that surround the shape. Guys, you gotta pay attention that before applying the commands, we should create our line and find out the central point. And with the commands that we talked about, we have to determine the line around our shape. So in the part that asks for the boundary of your shape, I select this square and select the origin point once the certain point of the shape, and then says what is your smallest scale. It means that when you wanted to scale it, on what size it should be scaled. For example, 1/10 to 95/100th. And as you can see, and now I gotta select this and take it out, and then make a copy out of my line. Around our line it is scaled like 9/10 or 8/10, and further we get, it goes to the 1/10. And you saw that how beautiful we can do this job. You might see that some of the lines are not on the face. Here again I go to the command, and then I activate the command again, and then I select the point, and by in the pull curve here I click and I put it on yes, and a tractor line, diamond and its boundary, and then its center. This time we see that the lines are matched on the page. I select the page and I turn off the ISO curve. So we've learned that if we activate the pull curve, the lines are completely matched on the page, and it might definitely get deformed a bit. So the first state that we've learned together here is the scale state. I select them all and I make a copy, and like this. And then again with the command of custom to the variable, we continue our work, but this time I choose scale 1D. Again I select a tractor line, and then I select my unit. My boundary is this square, and my origin point, I mean the point that the scale should start from, is here, and a point that determines the direction of 1D scale, something like this. My minimum scale is 1/10 and my maximum scale is 95/100th. And now as you can see, the scales are created for me from low to the high. The next option that we're gonna talk about is the state of rotation. I select rotate, and now I'm gonna make a change into this shape, this type of things, you know. I made it this to see its rotation better, like this. And it can be a little bit smaller, so it can rotate easily. I make a copy out of it, and then I can make it a bit smaller, like the way you see. Here again I go and select the custom variable, and from the pattern method I pick up the rotate. I press enter. It asks about the tractor line. I select it. I press enter, and I'd say this is the shape that I wanted to be a pattern. Boundary is a rectangle, and it has supposed to rotate actually from here. Minimum rotation angle like 5 degree, and the maximum has to be 90 degree. As you can see, the size of the rotation is 5 degree, and here is 90 degree. And it scales the form that we had on this page based on cells. And actually it fit them to the size of cells. The next option that we're gonna take a look at here is the state of translation. In this state, I'd say, for example, this shape that is supposed to move within this rectangle, and this rectangle is one of the cells of our grid. It has to move from this point to this point. At the beginning and around our line and our pattern are placed on the left point of each of these cells, and you can watch them in these parts. And the more it goes away, comes to its corresponding point, the same thing that we have here. So let's make a copy out of this and bring it to this part. It means that show me where this rectangle is close to the line, and this rectangle where it is away from the line. The next option that we're gonna talk about is list. Okay, with the help of this, let me rotate this a bit. Okay, something like this. Then I apply bounding box, and I give every one of them a bounding box. And then again, with custom to the variable, I wanna put some patterns on this grid. Now I activate list, and then again I keep this tractor line, and then I select this tractor line again, and then it asks me to define my first pattern. I give him the pattern number 1. Now the bounding box is this rectangle, and the pattern number 2, this diamond, and its bounding box is this rectangle. And number 3 and its bounding box. And number 4, as I don't have number 4, I press enter. And now we see it creates me such a thing. We see that next to our tractor line, it put our hexagons, and after that those diamonds there. The diamonds are deformed a bit as they look like rectangles. And on the third level, I'm in the furthest place toward our line. It put the last pattern, which was a actually circle. So I can put different models in list. Let's see something else together. Suppose that I have a rectangle, and then I make 3 copies here. The first one can be like this, the second one this, and the third one this one. Okay. and then I select the surface, the line. I activate invert, and then I delete others. With the help of actually custom to the variable, I select my grid, and after that I keep the list option, attractor lines, and then I go to the pattern, my first pattern and its bounding box, my second pattern and its bounding box, my third pattern and its bounding box, and then enter. As you can see, it creates such a thing for me. It also could be vice versa. I mean, the smaller one could be closer to this line, and now I'm gonna select them, and now we see the results together. As you can see, close to the line, the first pattern, our first pattern here, and the second pattern after that, and the third pattern on the furthest place. And now let's talk about the last option here. Okay, I'm gonna select this and delete. I could say I might have a circle as an example, and here maybe actually pentagon. And then with the help of a bounding box, I'm gonna create the lines around my shape, and here a circle should change into a pentagon. I go to the paneling tools, and finally I will select custom to the variable, and then I select them all, and from the pattern mode I go with mean and tractor line, and now I say from this circle, which is into this square, change into this pentagon in this bounding box. Look at around the line, we have the circle, and then the circle change into the pentagon in different levels. We could say that the same job that TwinCurve tools does for us occurred in this situation as well. You know that with the help of TwinCurve command, we can actually change the circle into a pentagon. You see? Exactly the same thing that happened here. We don't have anything to do with the rest of the things, but just to show you a single example, I consider 2 points, for example, here, and I select here custom to the variable, and now my points, and then my page. I select point attractor here instead of curve attractor, and then I go for the points. Like I say, my first point and then my second point. We see that we can use the points of our grid. I want this pentagon around my points. Okay. And it's bounding, and then the further it becomes, it should change into a circle. It means that on the 4 corners we have pentagons, and when you come to the center, you can see the circles. Now we know here that how can we make our 2-dimensional panels with the help of these tools. Okay, now here actually after we know how to use the 3D, I mean panel to the grid, panel custom 2D, and panel custom to the variable, here we are actually going to add up more panels to the panel to the grid that we discussed it earlier. Okay, here before we start doing anything else, I'm going to draw a line here. Okay, and I select the line in this way, and then I extrude it, and I do some changes into this. Come here, and maybe it could be bigger. Okay, now I think that's enough. So I go to the paneling, create paneling grid, and then I select surface diamond number, and yeah, I think that's so good. Now we're gonna create a new panel. For example, we want to have a panel like, and now let me draw a beautiful pattern here. Okay, yeah. Okay, such a pattern, I want to have. The first thing that we should know that is that in how many units our pattern should locate in. Now I'm gonna count them 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. And also in this direction there are 6 units. As you might have already know that when we have 6 units, we're gonna have actually 7 points. Now let's go to see how can we create the pattern. And now I go to the paneling tools and manage library patterns, and then manage 2D patterns. I select it. I select new, and I'd say that from this point you gotta start a pattern for me. Select x-axis reference. I reference on the x-axis like this, and what we need here is 7 to 7. And now here I type 7 and 7, and I draw the exact thing here. Look, the exact pattern, and when you reach the end, you gotta right click to have such a form. Okay, in actually Shift U and Shift V, we say that how many units our pattern should have distance toward the next pattern. We always subtract 1 from the number that we gave in the first part. In previous state we gave the number 7, and now we give it number 6. And I also type 6 again in this part, and I press enter, and then again enter. Okay, and the next thing that we should do is that we go to the paneling from grid, and then we select panel to grid. Now we select our grid, and then our page, and then okay, we gotta note that the number of points that we created on the page must be proportional to the number of points that make up our patterns. It means that it should be a factor of it. We had 7 by 7, and the points that we made were 14 by 14. When I go to the pattern, I see that P2D is added. Now we have a trouble here. Look. Now here I gotta delete this, and then I go to the create paneling grid, and then I choose a dummy number, and I'd say my page, and for example its span must be 18. and the other part 18. We must have 3 on each direction. Or we put here 12, 3 and 2 patterns. We go to the paneling from grid and we select panel to the grid, and then we can select the pattern we made before, and then at face border we can have the its result. And as you can see, some parts are not created. That's because in panel shape we put it on a straight, so we choose pull and then we press enter, and we see that the lines are quietly matched on our page. And then with the help of pipe command and to 1/10 of thickness, we're gonna have this. And you can see it, render mode, look. Okay. So we together learn how to make a new pattern. To create actually the new patterns, we can actually use a square and draw a line. I just keep grid snap and I turn off the other snap. I can create new patterns. I don't know what am I drawing. Okay. I can do it as a practice here, and then I gotta transfer it to the paneling tools. And okay, now what we have here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8. So the points should be 9 by 9. So I can lock this so it could be on the background of my work. So I'll go to the paneling tools, manage library, and then new. And then I say from this part, I put number 9, and our height should be 9 as well. And now I can use my first pattern as a background. We can make our pattern simpler and with more ease. And we already told you in Shift U and Shift V we subtract one number. It was 9, so here we put number 8. The name gotta be P to the 01. And what we had here was 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I'm gonna delete my grid here, and then I go to the dummy number, and I here put number 32. No, 14 is better, and this part gotta be 32 or no, 24. Numbers from the 8 factors. Okay, and with the help of paneling to the grid, my points, and actually with the new pattern that I made, I create this, and I can actually create some frames with pipe command. And yeah, I create a frame here, and I put it on render mode. See how it became beautiful. On the next level, later on, we're gonna learn how to actually take output from the pattern that we make. For example, I made this pattern, so I wanted to share it with you. How is that possible? To do so, I go to the library, and I select save to the pattern here. And I clicked on the target file. Okay, I'm gonna find a folder. I make a new folder. I name it pattern, and then I'm gonna select the name 01. Okay, now I can share this file with you. So if you wanted to use this file, first you gotta go and you gotta choose the load patterns, then you can actually load it. So now you know how to create pattern, how to save it, and how to share it. So now don't forget to share your patterns like this as a text to your friends.